This is Miyamoto, and I've been working on a Legend of Zelda movie.
An air duct.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay
everyone?
calm.
What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
It's a live action movie.
What?
It's being produced by the guy that made Morbius. What is up, YouTube? It's RSMario here, bringing you another Legend of Zelda video. Alright, so, of course, you've probably already heard the news by now. Hopefully, I can get this video out to you probably by Friday or Saturday, hopefully. But you already heard the news that there is a Legend of Zelda movie in the works. Miyamoto dropped this, or I guess Nintendo, technically. Maybe Miyamoto had the Nintendo account. Maybe that's what it was. Dropped this tweet stating, this is Miyamoto, and I have been working on the live action film of The Legend of Zelda for many years now with Ari Arad-san, who has produced many mega hit films. And so this hit the internet and it was massive. Alright, there are mixed feelings. A lot of people are happy. Some people are cautiously happy. I think I fall in that second camp. But we're going to get a little bit more into this. Of course, if you want to continue getting videos like this from me, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me. Follow me at twitter.com/rsmario128. Like my video tweet, share my video tweet, and I will shout you out at this portion of the video. Alright, so last time we talked about The Legend of Zelda, we were talking about the Sheikah tech and how it got weirdly written out of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and I was not too happy about that, you know. And of course, the last bit of news about Tears of the Kingdom, other than the fact that there's going to be no DLC, was also the fact that the sales had kind of plateaued. So there has been kind of a weird, slightly negative cloud over Tears of the Kingdom lately, over Zelda lately. Even though I think that cloud's going to part once it picks up the W at the Game Awards, because what else is going to win Game of the Year this year? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and talk about the Zelda movie. And the good, the bad, the ugly. So Nintendo dropped this on the Nintendo website earlier today, or I guess technically yesterday. For you, it would be several days ago. It says the development of the live action film of The Legend of Zelda to start. And it says the film will be produced by Shigeru Miyamoto, representative director and fellow of Nintendo, and Ari Arad, chairman of Arad Productions, who has produced many mega hit films. The film will be produced by Nintendo and Arad Productions Incorporated and directed by Wes Ball. The film will be co-financed by Nintendo and Sony Pictures Entertainment, with more than 50% financed by Nintendo. The theatrical distribution of the film will be done worldwide by Sony Pictures Incorporated. So basically, this is kind of like a distributor relationship. So, you know, Sony's financing it and distributing it, but Nintendo is mainly financing it, with Arad and Nintendo actually doing all the legwork of building this movie. By producing visual contents of Nintendo IP itself, Nintendo is creating new opportunities to have people from around the world access the world of Nintendo, which Nintendo has built through different means apart from its dedicated gaming consoles. By getting deeply involved in the movie production with the aim to put smiles on everyone's faces through entertainment, Nintendo will continue its efforts to produce unique entertainment and deliver to as many people as possible. Alright, so, good, the bad, and the ugly. Right up front, live action, not 100% sure on that one. I don't know how that's going to go. I think the live action is, I mean, Ari Arad is not exactly like, he's not bad at what he does. Like he's done some pretty good stuff. Like he's been the producer on pretty much most Marvel movies, all the way back to like Daredevil and Iron Man, like back in the early 2000s. But he was definitely on the Into the Spider-Verse movies, Morbius, Venom, basically anything Marvel Sony. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's pretty good. You know, now again, he probably has like producer credits for some of these, which means he might not have actually done anything on those movies. You know what I'm saying? Because a producer credit just means that, you know, you're credited as a producer. It doesn't mean you actually did anything on the movie. You know, I mean, you could get a producer credit because you're the star of the movie. I mean, just look at like Secret Invasion. I believe Don Cheadle and Samuel L. Jackson have producer credits in that show. I don't think they were actually producers in that show. If they are, God help us. Don't let them producing. Don't let them behind the camera ever again. Keep them in front of the camera if that was the case. But yeah, you know, so he's done some pretty good work. Same thing with Wes Ball. Wes Ball, well, Wes Ball is a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest, because Wes Ball he did the Maze Runner movies, and that's really it. Because the Planet of the Apes movie comes out next year. It's not out yet, so we don't know. And I haven't watched Maze Runner, but it's a damn like one of those young adult novel adaptations. So most of those usually turn out to be pretty bad. Now the key thing is this is at the screenplay, which is the most important part of this. Almost is being adapted by Derek Connolly. So Derek Connolly, he did Jurassic World, but the big thing is he did Detective Pikachu. Detective Pikachu is probably one of the best video game adaptations that people don't really talk about. You know, I think the Detective Pikachu captured kind of the essence of Pokemon pretty good. And the idea of using like that kind of like CG, that like hyper realistic kind of CG, you know what I'm saying, for the Pokemon actually worked. So I think Derek Connolly might be the sleeper pick for this little squad they have here. Not to mention, of course, they have Miyamoto. So now with the last couple of adaptations that have come out lately, we know that having the creator involved is super important. All right, I mean, because look at the One Piece adaptation, and the One Piece adaptation had Oda directly involved. Like he was in there like swimwear, okay? All right. It was not going down without Oda. And guess what? It worked. You know, same thing with the Mario movie. Like Miyamoto was involved with that movie, and guess what? The Mario movie worked. Now, the other thing when it comes to live action, also, you know, you have to deal with the current political climate of America, basically meaning wokeness. So are they going to try to make this movie woke? Like, are they going to like Rings of Power this sucker? You know what I'm saying? Are we going to have like, you know, oh man, they're going to have like some black folk in here. Are they going to do that? Ooh, that will be, now that's a question. That's a question. I mean, of course, they didn't really do that with Super Mario Brothers. You know, some people say that the princess part in there, you know, princess, her being kind of like a girl boss, quote unquote, is woke. I don't really think that's the case because, I mean, it's in some of the source material, you know what I'm saying, that she kind of can do that. You know, not to mention she's a princess in a magical country. I think she has some kind of powers, you know? But can that happen in Zelda? Don't know. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe Miyamoto will try to steer clear of controversy and try to make a movie that's for anyone instead of trying to make it for everyone, because everyone fails at making movies for everybody. So, you know, maybe that's what's going to happen there. And speaking of that, though, story is going to be one of the biggest issues with this movie, right? Because with Mario, it was easy because, you know what I'm saying, you could just like, I mean, Mario's story is so loose. You know, Bowser kidnaps Peach, Mario has to go save her, rinse and repeat with different levels and different setups and all this other kind of stuff. With Zelda, it is different. Story is way more important to Zelda than it is to Mario. It's probably the story in Zelda is probably one of the most important aspects. I wouldn't say it's the most important because the gameplay is the most important. But as far as story goes, when it compared to any other Nintendo franchise, it's probably the most important. You know what I'm saying? Because like Fire Emblem story is important, but it's not like massively important. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with something like Metroid, or I'm trying to think of another big Nintendo title, Pikmin or something to that extent. But Zelda's story is important. And where are they going to get the story from? Okay, have you seen the Zelda timeline? Like, the Zelda timeline is hell. We've been trying to decipher the damn timeline for decades. Okay, all right. I mean, now one good thing about this is that the Zelda story is essentially an anthology of different stories. All right, because that's essentially what Zelda is. Like the Zelda, the Zelda story is. It's an anthology of different stories about a guy named Link, and a princess named Zelda fighting against some sort of evil, usually Ganon or Ganondorf. So that way they can kind of pick where they want to go. Do they want to go, more Twilight Princess, which now that it's live action, that might actually work. Do they want to go more Skyward Sword and try to set up everything? Which honestly would also work because they would give you older Links in older Zeldas. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, they could go the kid route and have like some unknown like teenage actors do it. Kind of like a la like Harry Potter. You know what I'm saying? Or Star Wars. Star Wars technically had unknown actors in the beginning as well. Or they could go with some more big name actors to try to bring in the star power, which is more than likely what they're going to try to do. We did have, Chris Pratt play Mario. More than likely, the main reason for that was his star power. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. You know what I'm saying? I think live action adaptations are very tricky. But if there's anybody that can pull this off, it's Miyamoto. So, tell me what you think down below. Give me some casting ideas, because I am going to be doing a fan cast video of this, okay? All right, I was going to make this the fan cast video, but I couldn't get my cast, written in time. So I didn't want the video to be super late. So give me some ideas in the comments down below of who you want to be, who you think would be cool to be in the movie and what roles. Give me your fan cast in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real.